Most of what we call cream cheese technically isn't. To cut costs, brands replace expensive high-fat cream with cheap whey and water, then turn that watery mixture into a gel used in plant gums. Basically, you're paying for a chemistry trick designed to mimic dairy. When you spread that smooth brick on your bagel, you aren't eating a concentrated fermented cheese. You're eating a stabilized emulsion held together by industrial binders. Today, we are ranking 11 American brands from the dairy-flavored jellies to the actual 3-ingredient originals. Let's start with the 3 brands that rely more on laboratory science than traditional farming. Brand number 1, Philadelphia Fat Free. We have to start with the biggest name in the business because their health-conscious versions are a masterclass in industrial engineering. When you strip the fat out of cream cheese, you are removing the very thing that gives it flavor, structure, and a creamy melt. To fix this, the brand doesn't just leave out the fat. They have to rebuild the entire texture using a massive list of additives. If you look at the back of the label, you'll find vitamin A palmitate, artificial color, and a heavy-duty stabilizer blend. They use sodium tripolyphosphate, a chemical often used in detergents and as a preservative, to maintain the moisture levels that the fat used to hold. They also lean heavily on xanthan gum and guar gum to create a bouncy mouthfeel that mimics the density of fat. The result is a product that feels like a gel-based paste. It doesn't melt on a warm bagel, it just sits there, sweating water because the chemical bonds can't handle the heat. You are trading healthy dairy fats for a processed, chemical-laden spread that provides almost zero nutritional satisfaction. Brand number 2, Smithfield. Smithfield is a massive player in the food service world, but their products are a primary example of what happens when you prioritize shelf stability over ingredient purity. The moment you see the word spread on a label, you are looking at a legal admission. This product does not contain enough milk fat to be legally called cream cheese under FDA standards. This brand relies heavily on whey protein concentrate, a cheap byproduct of cheese manufacturing, to bulk up the volume without the cost of real cream. To make this watery byproduct feel like a premium spread, they utilize carrageenan. This is the red flag ingredient. Carrageenan is a seaweed derivative that acts as a powerful binder, giving the cheese that perfect industrial sheen. However, it is also highly controversial because of its link to gut inflammation and digestive distress. When you eat this, your body isn't processing a simple fermented dairy product. It's struggling to break down a complex network of industrial gums and seaweed extracts designed to make a low-quality base look like high-end dairy. Brand number 3, Happy Farms. This private label is a favorite for budget shoppers, but their standard brick is what I call a gum fortress. While it looks identical to a premium brick, the mouthfeel tells a different story. To keep the price point at rock bottom, the brand uses a higher ratio of milk and water to cream. To prevent this from turning into a puddle in the box, they use a thick structural dose of locust bean gum. This is why this cream cheese often feels waxy or rubbery when you try to slice it. It doesn't have that clean, slightly crumbly break of a traditional fermented cheese. Instead, it bends and stretches. When you use this for baking, especially in delicate cheesecakes, the excess gums can interfere with the protein structure of the eggs, leading to a rubbery finish or cheesecake that weeps liquid after it cools. It is designed to survive the supply chain and sit on the shelf for a long time, but it sacrifices the buttery, clean melt that real cream cheese is supposed to provide. Now we're moving into the middle of the pack. These are the brands you'll find in almost every grocery store from coast to coast. They are a massive step up from the chemical gels we talked about in part 1 because they actually use real cream as the primary ingredient. However, they still haven't quite reached gold standard status because they refuse to let go of the industrial training wheels, specifically the gums and stabilizers used to guarantee a long shelf life. They're safe, they taste like real dairy, but they aren't the cleanest options on the shelf. If you're looking for consistency, these are fine, but if you're looking for purity, you're not there yet. Brand number 4, Philadelphia Original Brick. This is the most famous cream cheese in the world, and for most people, it's the default choice. If you look at the standard 8-ounce silver foil brick, the ingredient list is actually quite short. Milk, cream, salt, cultures, and Cara bean gum. The reason it sits in the middle tier is that one final ingredient. Cara bean gum, also known as locust bean gum, is an industrial shortcut used to ensure the cheese stays firm and doesn't separate when it hits room temperature. While it's not inherently dangerous, it is a crutch. Real, traditionally made cream cheese doesn't need a plant-based glue to stay together if the culturing process is done right. Philadelphia is the gold standard for consistency. It works perfectly in every cheesecake recipe because of those stabilizers, but it's still a mass-produced product that values a predictable texture over a 100% clean label. It's a good choice, but it's still a corporate product designed to sit on a shelf for months. Brand number 5, Tillamook. Tillamook is a beloved farmer-owned co-op from Oregon, and they generally make very high-quality dairy. Their cream cheese is definitely an upgrade in flavor compared to the cheaper brands because they use high-quality, growth hormone-free milk. The taste is noticeably richer, more buttery, and has a more authentic dairy tang. However, even a premium brand like Tillamook still leans on a blend of Guar Gum and locust bean gum in their products. They do it to achieve that extra creamy spreadability that American consumers have been trained to expect. But here's the reality, that creaminess is partly a result of plant thickeners. You're getting better sourcing and a better mission-driven company than you would with a giant conglomerate. But you're still consuming those industrial binders that the top-tier brands have proven are totally unnecessary. It's a great everyday choice, but it's still playing the industrial game. Brand number 6, Organic Valley. If you want to avoid pesticides and synthetic hormones, Organic Valley is usually the first choice. Their sourcing is fantastic. They focus on pasture-raised cows and strict organic standards, which means the actual quality of the fats in the cheese is superior to almost everything else in the aisle. You can really taste the quality of the milk. But here's the catch that most people miss. Despite being organic, they still use organic locust bean gum and organic Guar Gum. This is a perfect example of how marketing can be tricky. Just because a thickener is organic doesn't change its function. It is still a filler used to stabilize the product for mass distribution and to keep it from separating in the tub. You are paying a premium for organic dairy, which is a win, but you are still getting that gummy mouthfeel that comes with industrial stabilization. It's the best choice for someone who prioritizes organic farming, but from a pure ingredient standpoint, it's still relying on additives to do the work that thyme and fermentation should be doing on their own. We've looked at the chemical gels and the middle tier brands that still use plant glues. Now we are finally at the top of the ranking. These are the gold standard winners. There are only a handful of brands in the entire country that make cream cheese the traditional way without using a single gum, stabilizer, or thickener. These brands don't need to hide behind locust bean gum because they use high quality fat and long fermentation times to create texture. If you want the real health benefits of fermented dairy and a flavor that actually tastes like fresh cream, these are the only 3 you should be buying. Brand number 7, Nancy's Probiotic Cream Cheese. Nancy's is a massive winner because they are one of the only brands that treats cream cheese like a true fermented health food. While every other brand on this list uses heat to kill off the cultures after production to extend shelf life, Nancy's keeps the live and active cultures in the final product. Their ingredient list is exactly what it should be: milk, cream, and a massive blend of live probiotics. They don't use a single gram of Guar Gum or Cara bean gum. The thickness comes entirely from the natural culturing process. When you eat this, you are actually getting beneficial bacteria for your gut rather than just empty dairy fats. It has a bright, sharp tang that makes every other brand taste flat by comparison. It is quite literally the healthiest cream cheese in the American supermarket. Brand number 8, Sierra Nevada Grazers. This brand is for the people who care about the source of their food as much as the ingredients. Sierra Nevada uses milk from grass-fed, pasture-raised cows, which means the fatty acid profile is significantly better for your heart than grain-fed alternatives. But the reason they are in the top tier is their no shortcut philosophy. Their Grazers line contains 0 stabilizers and 0 gums. It is just organic pasture-raised milk, cream, sea salt, and cultures. Because they don't use thickeners, the texture is slightly different. It's more traditional, meaning it's a bit firmer when cold and melts much faster when it hits heat. It is the purest expression of what cream cheese was meant to be before industrial food processing took over. Brand number 9, Green Valley Creamery. This is the hidden gem of the dairy aisle. Green Valley Creamery makes a lactose-free organic cream cheese that puts almost every standard brand to shame. Even if you aren't lactose intolerant, you should buy this for the purity. Their ingredient list is strictly limited to 4 items: organic cream, sea salt, lactase enzyme, and live active cultures. No gums, no stabilizers, no fillers. Because they don't use thickeners to fake the texture, it has incredibly clean, buttery finish that doesn't leave a waxy coating on your tongue. It proves that you can have a spreadable, delicious cream cheese without relying on plant-based glues to hold it together. It's a 10 out of 10 for both ingredients and performance. If you're standing in the dairy aisle and you aren't sure which way to go, remember the 5 ingredient rule. If the label lists more than 5 items, or if you see words like guar, xanthan, or carrageenan, the brand is cutting corners. You are paying premium prices for cheap water and whey that's been glued together with plant extracts. Switching to a gold standard brand like Nancy's, Sierra Nevada, or Green Valley Creamery doesn't just give you a better tasting bagel, it removes unnecessary binders from your diet and replaces them with healthy fats and live cultures. Stop settling for cream cheese spreads and start demanding real fermented dairy. Your gut and your taste buds will tell the difference immediately.